Just when America has reached a breaking point with division, visionary influencer Danni Benson's I'm Proud of You Sis bro movement taps into the pulse and heartbeat of a culture radically torn. But this loving mom's voice of reason and calm has received national recognition.
How do you balance having your children and always traveling with the Yankee organization?
When I became a dad, I said that I would always love like a mother.
I feel like I have to try certain things or act a different way because I know some people or some kids.
So join Danni Benson as she celebrates her special guests on her show and highlights their gifts and contributions to our world.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danni Benson. Thank you for joining. I am proud of you, sis. I am hoping you're having a wonderful day today. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and follow and comment. I have a special guest today. You know, let me just say something. Dating has changed dramatically since social media has come. I mean, I think it's about almost 15 years now. You know, we used to have our phones, but we still were interacting face to face until these dating apps started occurring, until our lives got even more busier, until we found out the world is a lot smaller, because back then you used to just meet like people in person who you were going to marry, who you were going to date. But now with social media, you don't actually have to meet them in person for the first time. You can actually meet them through apps, through dating apps, through Instagram, through Facebook. So many platforms you can meet people that you would probably never bump into. So my special guest is Brownie Marie. She came up with this app called the Foxhunters Club, and the app has to do with older men looking for younger women and younger women looking for older men. So that is the niche of the app, and I'm so proud of her, sis. I want to give her flowers. I want to tell her thank you so much for coming on my show. Welcome, Brownie Marie. Hey, Brownie. Hi.
Thank you.
Finally. You know what? This is like 4 years in the making, because I remember like 4 years ago, I was like, oh, I want to interview. I'm so proud of you, sis, because you're in journalism. You were doing so many things. And you said to me, wait, hold up. I am working on an app right now. And when I complete the app, I'm coming on your show. And I want to say, everyone, she kept her word. She just completed the app. I'm so happy and excited and so proud of her. So Brownie, just tell me first of all, what inspired you to do this app? I just want to know.
It was from my own frustrations, not being able to find a dating app for what I was looking for. This was back during pandemic. I was single. I was bored. I said, well, let me get back on these dating apps. My preference has always been older men, but not a sugar baby relationship, not a transactional relationship. I was looking for something real. So as I was on this journey to find an app that would cater to me, I found that it didn't exist. So after a lot of thought and a lot of prayer and discussing with folks, I decided to start it on my own. So that's what really makes my app unique. It's the older men, younger women, but I'm really targeting millennial women, women in their 30s, not necessarily like college girls or something, and definitely not sugar babies. So that's something that's not on the market, and I'm happy to provide it.
So let me ask you a question. What do you consider a sugar daddy?
Someone who is gifting you in exchange for something. It could be giving you money, purses, trips. And I'm not hating on that. I mean, go on and get yours, and it ain't tricking if you got it. It is what it is. It's just not for me. And other women feel the same way. Unfortunately, when you say older man, people automatically assume you're a sugar baby. If I'm dating an older man, they assume he's my sugar daddy. And that's unfortunate, but I'm trying to change the narrative on that.
So okay. So what do you consider the age gap? Like, what is like an age gap that would be reasonable on your app? Can it go from 80 years old to 70 years old? Like, what is because I know you said millennium. So you said 30s for women. So what is the answer for men?
I'm really looking for men 45 and up. So I'm not going to stop someone younger than that from signing up. The minimum age on the app is 18, of course. But I'm not going to stop, for instance, like a guy in his early 30s from signing up. That's fine. But really my target is going to be women 30 and up, men 45 and up.
So what do you think is the difference? I already know the answer. You already know the answer. What do you think is the difference of 20-year-old men versus 30-year-old men versus 40-year-old men versus 50-year-old men, and so on and so off? Because I'm finding that these men in their 20s are not maturing as they should be from years ago, right? In their 20s, they're already, you know, they were going to college, into their career, getting married, because my parents were married like in their, I think, 1920, ready to have a family. But I've noticed, like, in this day and age, like in 2023, 2024, it's like I feel like with men, 20 is the new teenage years, you know,
Yep.
and 30 is a new 20, and
Yep.
40 is the new 30 when it comes to maturity. So that's why I know there's a need for your app, because women are still maturing faster than men, right? And I think
Yep.
women haven't changed in their maturity, you know, like men have, but women are looking
Mhm.
younger, of course, but their maturity is much more mature than where men are supposed to be. So tell me, what is a 20-year-old, like, you know, what is a 20-year-old right now acting like that you feel that's inspired? What's one of the reasons why inspired you to do this app? Where are they at right now at 20, like the 20s?
Honestly, I can't even tell you because that is so far removed from where I am and from what I've been interested in for a long time. But as you said, people in their 20s, generally in college or getting out of college. Back in the day, it used to be, okay, you finish school, you get a job, you get married. And now it's more so like, okay, finish school, get a job, get another job, travel, date around. There isn't really this pressure to get married. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. People are delaying it. Women and men are waiting until they're older to get married, waiting until they're older to have kids. It's a decision, but that decision has effects. So you find people saying, why would I settle down in my 20s or my 30s? That's like my prime. I'm just now like getting the money that I want. I got the job that I want, the freedom, whatever that situation is. You don't necessarily want to be tied down, especially when you have a negative connotation around relationships and you feel like a marriage holds you back and a wife holds you back. Those type of notions are really immature. It takes a while for men to grow out of that type of thinking. Not everyone wants to settle down, and that's okay too. But for some folks, it takes them a while to want to settle down, a while to see the benefit of having a good, positive, strong, encouraging woman by your side, how that actually elevates you. It takes a while for some men to catch on to that. So unfortunately, they might be in their 40s, they might be in their 50s. Some people never figure it out. Something that helps with the older men, a lot of them have been divorced already. A lot of them got dragged through the ringer with their exes. They've seen maybe what a toxic relationship is, an unhealthy relationship is, and they say, I want something different this time. I want something better. And they also see their faults. In my experience talking with older guys, I say, so why did you get a divorce? They actually will take some ownership. Like, this is what I did wrong. This is how I messed up. That takes some learning and growth for men to be able to communicate that way, learn about themselves, accept it, want to change it. And then also, I find they have an appreciation. If you are not about drama, you're not stressing them out, you're not a gold digger, you just want to enjoy them, happy, healthy relationship, that's like a breath of fresh air for somebody that had really bad experiences. So that's some of the things that I find different about older men and what attracts me to them.
Yeah, and they're older and they're wiser, and
Yeah.
they're at, because I speak to a lot of older men, especially like 40s into their 50s. They, I guess they're getting closer to, what is that word? Unaliving, someone told me, like, you know, because they're getting
Yeah,
closer to,
yeah,
oh
yep,
wow, like I'm already 40, I'm already 50, you know,
yep,
what's the like in America, I think most men die like 4 years before women. I think the average
wow.
men lifespan is from, like, you know, 72 to 76.
Yeah,
So
that
if
sounds
you're
right.
hitting like 50, honestly, you have a good 25 years left. So do you want to do
Mhm.
25 years and just keep like wasting time, or do you want to actually build something meaningful before it comes to a time where you aren't as mobile as you used to, or maybe
Yeah.
your health is not how it used to be. And sometimes it's important to find that good mate that's going to like stick by your side and not play any games. And you know what it is too? You want to find friendships and partnerships.
Boom.
It's not even, it's about the commitment, it's about the marriage, but it's so hard to find the connection more than ever because people are constantly scrolling on their phone and they're not really like in someone's face and getting to know the person, like. So I I'm a little older than you. And I'm like, I don't feel like it.
I don't think you
But
are, but we
but
can
you,
do that.
no,
Okay.
but I don't know, maybe like 1 or 2 years. But my thing is this: the reason I love this app is because I'm at a point where I'm ready to want to settle down, and I don't want to really play the games. And look, 20-year-olds are cool. I'm not being disrespectful to 20-year-olds, but I understand you're just getting into, your form. You're just getting into your shoes. So you're feeling yourself. And because you're feeling yourself, you feel like every woman is feeling herself. So therefore you're like commitment, like, I want to keep my options open. So I sometimes feel like 20-year-olds say that. They want to keep their options open. Then when they get into their 30s, it's like now they got to figure out what they're doing career wise because finances matter, right?
Right. Right.
Finances matter. So I would, in my 30s, want to date someone, you're right, like 45, 50, because I don't really have time to waste anymore. I don't have time.
Right.
I want somebody to be where I'm at. So if I'm
Exactly.
30, my maturity level matching 30s is really like 45, 50.
Boom. Boom. And that's it right there. I don't want somebody who's still running around. He's whoring, he's lying, doesn't want to settle down, just wants to run the streets, doesn't appreciate me. No.
And
It's
look,
something I,
we're not like, I don't want to generalize because there are
sure,
men who
sure,
are married and who, in their 20s. So we're not saying every single man.
sure,
We're
sure.
basically talking about our experiences. So let's just put it
Exactly.
there so people won't be like, well, I'm not like that. Okay, we're not
Sure,
saying like
sure.
that. We're just saying based on our experiences and our experiences from our loved ones, our friends, the
Yep.
stories that they tell us. And, and we giggle about it and we be like, we do not, as women, there is a clock. I'm going to tell you right
Yep.
now. There is a clock. It's an invisible clock. People are like, what are you talking about? Because I know we're looking youthful and younger and
Yeah.
we're on TikTok doing all these like juicings and stuff like that. But for some reason, the body still has this biological clock, like around like 35, 40. Like if you want to have a kid, right? You don't have to have a kid. Let me tell you something. We're in a place right now. It's not like it's a choice now. It's not like something that you have to do because I know a lot of single women in their 40s, no children, have a really great, satisfying life, right? But if you do want to have a family, what I find is if I'm 30 and he's 30, he's not in the same place as me. And then I'm thinking about my clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a clock. Like the doctor says you have to have your first kid by hopefully 35. And I don't know if that's true for everyone. Everyone's biological is different. But now with this app, you will save a lot of women time.
That's one of the things that really, when people say, what differences do you see dating older men versus men your own age, etc., that's probably the number one thing that I would call out is the honesty factor. Out of the men that I've dated, I can think of one who was like lying, saying he wanted to settle down and he really didn't. There was an older guy. I can think of one man. Everyone else, if they don't want to settle down, because some older men, they've been married maybe once or twice before, they don't want to get married again. They say that out loud. They tell you that up front. There isn't this game playing of, oh, let's just see where it goes and whatnot. It's a really immature thing that some younger men will do just to get what they want and just try to figure things out, kind of string you along, etc. We've all known women that have gone through this. I've gone through this myself. I have had that experience with an older man literally one time. Everyone else, it has been, I don't really want to get married again. No, I've been there, done that. I got grown kids, whatever the case. Or they say, I would love to get married again. If I meet the right person, absolutely. So that's probably the number one thing I can call out. And that's probably the most important thing to me is the honesty factor.
And when you say honesty, I feel you because they set their expectations from the beginning. Like
Exactly.
there's no playing games. There's no, when you meet a guy and you really like him and you like, do you see a future? Because my dad used to always say, when a guy meets you, he'll know. He'll know within the next couple of dates if you're the one or not, right? And then it's up to, like my dad said, it's up to you to change his mind. But he'll know. He just won't tell you, right? But there's men that will sit there and know they don't want to be with you.
Right.
And they'll sit there and say, oh, yeah, not now. I'm not ready now. But you know what? In 2 years. But they knew from a couple of dates, they knew they weren't going to ever be with you. And here you are as a woman putting 2 years in your mind, maybe 3 years in your mind. And you're like, okay, he's saying that I'm the one. It's just not ready right now. And you know what?
Right.
You give people time to grow into the fact that, commitment is a serious decision. So you don't want to make people feel that, okay, you want to be with me, but I get that you need time to like get into it. 3 years comes. Oh, wait, I need another year. I'm not sure. 4 years come, 5 years come. I know women that's been in relationships for like 10 years.
Me too.
10 years.
Me too. Still waiting. And they are
waiting.
still waiting. It's insane to me. It's insane and it's a shame. But I think it speaks a lot. And this is also why I'm targeting women in their 30s versus women in their 20s or Gen Z. Because you got to have that confidence to say, no, no, no. I'm not dealing with this. I'm worth more than this. I'm not wasting my time. You are wasting my time. It takes a level of confidence in the woman as well. So it kind of goes both ways as to why I'm targeting a certain woman who is going to have the confidence to deal with the older man as well, not feel intimidated. I had someone ask me, well, how do you deal with the different power dynamics if he's older? And I'm thinking, why would someone older than me have more power than me? But some people think that way. They get intimidated, maybe because he has more experience. Maybe he may have more money, even though my app is not a sugar baby app. Maybe he does have more money, maybe better settled because he's older, whatever the case. That has nothing to do with his power. That has nothing to do with the power I have in the relationship. But I think that takes a level of growth on the woman's side as well.
And plus, it's self-confidence and it's self-esteem.
Yep.
It's a self-esteem of us not loving ourselves, not valuing ourselves is what keeps us in situations that we know we should have left a long time ago.
Oof.
Because we feel that we're not worthy enough to just wait for that next person that's supposed to fulfill all of our desires, right? We want to just settle for mediocrity when we know it's not going anywhere, when we know we're completely not being fulfilled, we're not happy, but because we don't want to be alone, because we want to walk into a dinner place, a party with your friends, or you have a man by your side, you feel that you're complete, that you will tolerate the lowest of the lows, the red flags right in your face, just to say that you have somebody.
Yeah.
I know plenty of women who sit there and just settle. Not happy, just settling. And I'm like, what are you really getting out of it? You just have someone next to you, like a warm bed. You deserve more. So I think like in your 30s as a woman, you start really getting to know who you really are. You start really creating boundaries, what you will accept and what you won't accept. And there's deal breakers too. Like, so in your 20s, you're just trying to figure out yourself. So I completely understand why is that not your target, even though they can join the app, because they're still trying to figure out who they are, right? And knowing who you are is when you find out, are you gonna fall? If you fall for this, you fall for everything. Like it's like a boundary that you put. In my 30s, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then you have to be strong enough to voice that too.
Yep.
Communication piece. Because you are right with someone who's a little bit older, an older man, women might feel intimidated. But I think once you hit your 30s, I think it doesn't matter what age you are. I think you're basically in the same place because you have the job, you have the career.
Exactly.
You want to get the house, you want to invest, you want to get the stuff. So I think in your 30s, you should be in your 30s. You should hopefully be in your career.
Yeah.
So you both are in your careers.
Exactly.
Right? So the only difference is really the age. Everything else is basically the same.
Exactly. And like you said, you want someone that's on your level. I don't want someone who's still trying to figure it out, doesn't know what they want, doesn't have a goal they're working towards, or hasn't achieved that goal yet. I'm past all of that. I'm past struggling, been there, done that. I'm past trying to figure out what to do with my life, been there, done that. You know, I'm attracted to someone who is successful, who is passionate about something. It could be playing golf. I need you to be passionate about something. Someone who knows what they want, is not going to waste my time, and someone who sees the value in settling down. And again, if I'm in my 30s, I should be a great partner by then. I hope. If you're not, ladies and men, work on yourselves before you join Foxhunters Club and ruin somebody's life. Work on yourself, get yourself together, and get to a point where you can say, I can provide value. I am a great partner. Anybody would be lucky to have me, really. So once you get to that point, I think then you're ready. You can walk into any room. They could be in their 40s, 50s, 60s. You can talk to anyone. You don't feel intimidated. You can just move in different circles. So it's really a benefit having the confidence piece, like you said. That confidence will take you so far.
It does. So tell me how your app operates. Like you download it, and then tell me when you download it, what's the first thing like you see, or how do you weed out people, or just anyone can possibly join? Like, how does that work?
Good question. So it is a very simple setup, similar to other dating apps that folks have been on with the swiping. So you put in your preferences as far as the age of the person you're looking for, how far away they can be as far as distance and miles. You put in information about yourself on your profile. One of the things that I call out is kids, because it's something that people ask about. Well, what if women want kids? These guys are older. Maybe they don't want kids, etc. It's a whole thing around kids. I have that right on the profile. Do you have kids? Yes, no. Do you want more kids? Yes, no. So that's right there. You fill out the other fields. From there, it's swiping. Swipe right if you like, swipe left to pass. You can also hit the heart button to like, etc. And then once you match with someone, you can chat with them. So very, very basic. It is not complicated. Someone who's never used a dating app, so I have to keep the older men in mind too. Maybe they've never used dating apps before. Maybe they're just coming out of divorce, whatever the case. This is their first time using something. It's very simple. Someone picking it up can use it right away. The only things that I'm blocking for are for age. You have to be at least 18. Again, I am not looking for 18-year-olds to sign up, but that's the minimum age for the app. If you see any type of inappropriate content or whatever the case, you can block and report the person. You can also report specific photos. So those are some things that I've built in as well. Other than that, I'm not going through necessarily profiles and weeding folks out. If I do come across something ridiculous, then yeah, I'll go ahead and delete them and notify them that they're banned. But I am hoping for that self-reporting feature to really assist me as a team of one to getting any type of bad actors off of the platform.
Question: Do you ask for age?
Yes. Age.
So if I'm going into the app right now, if my age is, I know you said 18 can join, right? So how do we weed, like if I'm looking for a guy who's older than 18, is this going to be like a special color or something that I know they're older than 18, or it's just that I'm going to just swipe like and don't like, but I don't really know, their age until I speak to them?
You see the age right up front. So as soon as that person, before you swipe, you see their name, age, and I think you see a little bit about their about me is the first thing that comes up. But the age is definitely right there up front. And also in your preferences, you can set, I only want to see men between 40 and 55. And then you will never see that 18-year-old because that's not in your preferences.
Well, good. Because I was like trying to figure out, like, if the 18-year-old does join, how do I stop myself from getting that,
Yeah, you won't even see it.
Yeah, no disrespect to 18-year-olds or anything like that. It's just that I'm an older woman, so I don't want to, date an 18-year-old. I feel like I'm dating my children at that point, just basically, them just coming out. But there are some men. So okay, what about the reverse? There was like a big controversy a few weeks ago about an older woman. She is pregnant by a man who is 21 years old. He's an NBA player. the
Yeah.
same is Drea, the
Right.
same age as her son. And a lot of people went into uproar. And it's weird because if an older woman dates a much younger man, I don't think society, they call them cougars, but I don't think
Yeah.
society takes that as well as a younger woman dating an older man. So
Yeah.
in your app, can that go in reverse? Because I speak to a lot of older women and they sit there and tell me sometimes like the younger guys are funner sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I've
know what
heard
I
that as
mean?
well.
Like they like maybe they're not looking for commitment. Maybe they're just looking for a good time. So how do you feel about like the older woman dating the younger man? Because that is a possibility on your app also.
It is. Folks can do what they want because I'm not blocking them right now. I am considering raising the minimum age for people to sign up. But even in that case, you can still have an older woman looking for a younger man and meeting him there. That's not my target. So it's not going to be in my marketing. You're not going to have, ideally, I don't want a lot of younger men on the site. I don't want a bunch of 20-year-old men on my app. So my app is probably not the best choice for a cougar, but there's nothing stopping them. If they happen to set their age range that they're looking for to be 18 to 30, hey, have at it. You might have some men that will pop up in there.
Is it a paid prescription prescription to be on your app?
So the app is free, but there's a premium option. You can do all the swiping and chatting for free. The only premium features right now are unlimited likes. So right now you'll have to stop swiping at some point. It's I don't know, like dozens and dozens of swipes. Hopefully no one's swiping that much in a day. Go out, touch some grass. But the premium feature, you do get unlimited swipes. You can hide your age so it doesn't come up right up front, and also the location. So then you're able to kind of see outside of just where you are. Because right now it's based on that radius and you can put the distance, but you have that option if you're a premium member to hide your age, location, and you get unlimited swipes.
And how much is for premium membership? Because I tend to like premium membership because I think it weeds out a lot of people.
So it is $8 a month. It's like $7.99 a month, and then you can also do it per 6 months or for a year, and you get like a small discount.
So what is your goal with this app? Like where do you see it going? Because I know you said that you were thinking about raising the age to maybe because I personally think you could do that, like because I think you could set guidelines of how you want your app to operate. So what is like the goal? Like what do you want to see? What would be a success story for you? Someone finding someone on your app.
That really is the goal, for people to find love. I have always wanted to connect folks. I told this story on my Instagram, but even when I was young, my cousin and I would try to match up friends that we knew, people from church, and I always felt like everyone should have someone. Now that I'm older, I understand not everyone wants to settle down, not everyone wants that partner, but I always felt like, man, you don't feel like there's something missing, that communication piece, that best friend, that taking care of each other, etc. So I would love to have that success story where a couple met on my app and got married, stayed married, had a happy, healthy marriage, meeting off of Foxhunters Club. That would be the ultimate goal for me.
I mean, you know what? Everyone's looking for love right now, so I would be so happy if someone could find love on your app. So why'd you call it the Foxhunters Club?
Good question. So you think of an older man, silver fox, salt and pepper, beard, no graying. It could be all silver. I think that is so sexy. But then also at the same time, a hot woman, she's a fox too. So that fox really just resonated with me. Also, a bit later on, I thought about the idea of hunting more, because I would go out when I was single with my girls. They would call me the sniper. Because I literally be like, we come in and I scan the room and I'm thinking like, okay, him, like as far as who I'm attracted to. And I would go in like, I'm getting their number, I'm talking to them, I'm seeing if I'm checking their hand for rings, all of that. So I got the nickname the Sniper. So it was a little bit of a hunting involved in that way. Plus, Foxhunters Club was not taken. Got the trademark, got the social media. So, I had to snatch all of that up. So I was like, wow, this was just, everything was just coming together. Foxhunters Club.
Wow, and it's such a unique name. So when this app blows up, you know what I mean? You'll be like in a class by itself, especially with your niche crowd that you want to be a part of the app. So that is, I mean, I am so proud of you. That's why I wanted to give you your flowers, because I know you've been working diligently on this for over 4 years, and I'm so proud of you because you really manifested it, and you made it happen. Like, you worked hard. Like, this is, since I've known you, this has been like your dream, and I've known you for like over a decade now. This has been like your dream. You kept saying like, I want to connect, I want to get, and even with your dating experiences, you wanted to do this even more because you wanted to help others based on like your experiences of just, of just dating. And the men out there. And it's so funny, when we got on, you was like, I like older men, and I was like, yeah. you always like older men, but I understand why you like older men. So what is in store for you? Are you dating? Are you gonna be on the app?
So I am on the app just to make sure things are going right, find some bugs, quality assurance. But I don't know if we've caught up personally one-on-one in a while, but I have a boyfriend. It's yay, hallelujah.
Yay!
It's actually like a serious, happy relationship that committed and joyful. And he is an older man. He's not that old. He's not my, decades older that I've done in the past. He's only like 5 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
But he still has the salt and pepper with the gray that I like. But
look, I'm like blushing right now for you, like completely blushing.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's great.
You just, because I saw you last year.
In the summer, I think.
Yeah. So you met him after last year?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the summer.
Oh, we got together. Oh yeah, because you were like, oh, okay. You was like, manifest. He's like, I'm meeting someone this summer. And you would be going to this event. I remember you were intentional about it.
Yes. And I feel like you have to be. I feel like you have to put yourself out there. And for me, dating apps were always just like an add-on. So I'd stayed on the apps just to have more options and more swipes and just get more people. But I still hit those streets. I still was going to networking events. I think I saw you at a couple charity events last summer. I was always just working it. I like my cigar lounges. I like to travel, even by myself. I was still putting myself out there. Even when I didn't feel like it, I would say, okay, you're not going to meet someone staying at home. Mm-hmm. I work from home. It's very easy for me to stay home all week. I could do that very easy, especially if the weather is not right.
Yes.
But I said, nope, you've been home all week. You're going to get out this Friday. You're going to get out this Saturday. Hit up one of your friends. If they don't want to go anyway, because you're never going to meet someone sitting in the house day in, day out. And I was very intentional, like you said. It was a goal. I was like, I'm tired of this mess. I'm going to get my person. I did a lot of praying also. I have to, of course, give thanks to the Lord, even for this app and for the situation I'm in relationship-wise. I definitely prayed for it. Prayed. I want a happy, healthy relation. Not just, I want a man. Or I want to get married. That's never been a goal for me. The goal has always been the right person. I want the right person, Lord. I want the right person, please. Should it be your will, the right person, happy, healthy, committed relationship. And of course, lead into marriage. I'm not the type of person to date forever or have a boyfriend for 10 years. I'm not doing that. So of course, that's part of it as well, but very intentional. And I think that happened probably in my 30s. I think in my 20s, I thought that I wanted a relationship, or I thought I was ready. I look back and I'm like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't a very good girlfriend, I would say, even like the boyfriends that I did have.
Wait, why would you? No, I need to know. Why did you say that? Well, first of all, I'm happy you taking accountability for saying that you wasn't. That's maturity. That's what you were talking about before. But why did you feel, hindsight looking back, that you didn't feel that you weren't, some things weren't the best of that you gave to that person?
I was partying a lot. And that's my personality. I had a podcast back in the day, Party Time with Brownie. I still like to party. But the men I was dating didn't want me partying, didn't want me out as much as I was. Even if it was for business, like on the journalism, like red carpet interview type of side, they still didn't like that. Because you get a lot of attention when you're out. The men coming up to you that know you or want to get to know you, they didn't like that. They really wanted me to be more comfortable at home and just with them. So looking back, there's some compromises that I could have made. There's some that I did make, but I could have made more. But also I felt like I wasn't getting what I wanted out of the relationship. And I think it was a way for me to kind of act out also and just kind of like do my own thing. These are also men.
So you were sabotaging. You were self-sabotaging the relationship.
Because
I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people aren't ready. So they sometimes self-sabotage on purpose and act like it's like a passive-aggressive type of thing. Instead of them just saying they're not ready, they just do things that in hopes that this relationship will be just ruined and I won't feel guilty about it.
I did that.
Yeah, you know, because you don't want to lose a person, but you don't want to be with the person, but you don't want it to be all your fault. So you'll do certain things that you know like the other person don't like in the hopes that they break up with you first.
I did that. I knew I didn't want him. I knew I should have broke up with him after like 3 months. And I let it go. I think we were together like 9 months or something. And I knew I didn't want to marry him, but I was like, ugh, I kind of gave up. But yeah, I was like acting out. I was acting out and it was selfish and immature. Not proud of those times, but we grew.
No, but you know what? You were in your 20s, and that's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
With a lot of men in their 20s, there's nothing wrong with in your 20s finding yourself wanting to go out, wanting to celebrate. Like you get your check, you want to go out with your friends, drink, celebrate. So I don't think that you were in a place that you were wrong. I think you were just acting like you're like in your age group.
Yeah, true.
Because look, it's hard to settle with someone in your 20s because you don't really even know yourself. Even when kids are like in high school and they have to decide what they want to be, I'm like, does someone really at 18 years old really know what they want to be? That's why 90% of the people, whatever career they chose, they're not really even doing anything with that career. Because at 18 years old, only a certain amount of people know what they really want to do at 18 years old. After that, everyone is just picking like majors and they don't even know who they are.
Right.
They don't even know if they don't even like it or not.
3 times.
Yeah, they don't even know if they're gonna like it or not. And then you don't even have life experience to even know if you're going to even like it or not. For instance, if you want to be a doctor, who knew? Some people I met were so into partying and well, by the time they didn't even go to medical school, they was like, no, being a doctor is not my thing. And that's what happens with maturity. As we get older, with experiences, you get to find out who you really are. You get to kind of find out what you like and what you don't like. It's hard to determine that at 18. Sometimes it's hard to really determine that in your 20s. You just have to be out there, be intentional, meet a lot of people. And what I would say is, if you are meeting a lot of people, have respect for yourself to know if it's not working, be honest with the person.
Yep.
That's the only thing I would tell 20-year-olds, because what happens is that person that you don't want to be with probably wants to be with you. And now you don't want to let them go because you don't want them to be with someone else. But now you've made them miss opportunities of maybe meeting that guy or that girl that is really compatible with them. And This is when the drama starts, because now it's like, you wasted my time. Do you understand what I mean? Like in your 20s. So you were in a good place because that's what people do in their 20s.
Yeah, that's true. I don't put too much guilt on myself because he was a trash boyfriend too. But yeah, I should have just broke up with him. I wasted those months. I've wasted time on folks. I can't get that time back. And that's something about getting older. I'm not wasting time anymore. If it's not working, I'm out. If it's not working, I'm done. I brought this up on another podcast interview that I had. There's like a series of questions that I ask before you even get my number. Like when I was on dating apps, we're in the chat box. I'm asking you, it's like a job interview before I even give you my number, because I'm just weeding you out. There's going to be if I say, who do you live with? And you say, oh, my baby mom, but we're not together. hear it. If you say, oh, I live with my parents, but I'm looking for a house, I'm gonna give some positives. There's some things you keep in your head, like if I ask you what you do for a living, you say, well, I just make money and I do this and that. It sounds like you all over the place. Sound like you hustling. I'm past that. So all of those things, because I'm not wasting time. I'm preaching this. There's chicks having dates and they're finding stuff out on the date. They should have asked in the chat. They should have asked on the phone. What happened to video calls? You show up and you're surprised. So I'm going to be doing some in real life events in addition to the app and, getting the word out there through media and whatnot. Thank you again for the interview. I'm going to have some in real life events that I'm sponsoring, I'm hosting. I want to have brown bags. I want to share this info, get women like you there so we can let other women know these are some flags. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not interested. You don't owe somebody your number. You don't owe somebody your time. Cut it off. You don't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste. So it's that type of messaging that I also want to put out there as I'm talking about Foxhunters Club.
So what other messages you want to drop out there for women who are especially watching I'm Proud of You Sis right now? Like what give me some shortcuts. So a lot of these women, if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Right.
So what are shortcuts or questions you can ask a person, a man or woman, to just weed them out? My first thing is, are you married?
Yes, and you do have to ask, unfortunately.
Yeah, you have to ask, because I feel that men don't ever volunteer that. And you'll see the ring right in their finger. Happened to me last week.
Oof.
I'm like sitting here like, and he's like, if it wasn't for the ring, I'd be like, okay, cool. But the ring was just like it was like a glare.
Right.
And I was like, and I finally had to ask him, I was like, are you married? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, woof. So that's a red flag for me.
Oh,
because I realized when a man sits there and makes his wife feel like it's like a whatever, then in my mind, I'm like, okay, so if I eventually become your wife, you might make it seem like I'm a whatever too, right? It's not, because you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm asking if you're married, and you're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, but you're trying to talk to me. Do you understand what I mean? Like, so what do you think is gonna happen? So he was like, so we're not gonna link up? I was like, no.
He tried it.
Yeah, but you know what it is? That's because I'm well, you know what? First of all, I don't date. I've never dated a married man. So I don't want to say because I'm older.
Right.
Because I just feel that when you date a married man, you already know you're entering the Pandora box of pain.
Right.
A pain. Like, it's like whether you think you can control it or not, at one moment in time, this is gonna be a painful breakup. Right. So why put yourself in it, right? But I think women need to start asking men to straight out, are you married? Because men will 9 times out of 10 not really volunteer that information.
Yeah.
And they will still pursue you.
Yeah.
And you gotta ask that question, because I feel like a lot of broken hearts would be saved if you do ask that question. If they say yes, you walk away.
Yep. Absolutely.
And the second thing is, oh, I'm married, but we're not working out.
Right.
Because that's how they will you in. Oh, I'm married, but we're not really. And you know what I say? Can you call her for me? Let me talk to her. Let me hear from her that you're not working out. Let me hear from her that you're separated. I want to hear from the woman. And then 9 times out of 10, they're looking at me like, I ain't calling her. Oh, okay. So if you're not working out, why can't you call her so I could just get the okay that you guys aren't together, and now we could start a merry old, relationship. So it's like those are the two things I think, especially younger women need to start asking those hard questions. And the third one is, do you have children? A lot of men have children.
A lot. And women too. You reach a certain age and people have at least one. With the married man thing, that is a trip, and you have to just walk away. Even for me at this point, it's like the separated thing. You could be separated for 5 years and never get a divorce. I literally know people who have been separated for years, not living together. So like legitimately separated, still not divorced. So whomever that person is dating, they're just hanging on until, like, come on now, if you really wanted to get divorced, you can accelerate that process, baby. You ain't got to wait 5, 6, 7. You can accelerate this process, especially, you know, when you don't have to work out a lot of asset issues and custody issues. But that's another story. In regards to other things that women should ask about, the girlfriend question, like you said, ask if they're married. Are you seeing someone? Because a lot of men will say they don't have a girlfriend. But like, okay, is there someone that you're seeing, someone special? Well, there's someone I see a lot. So you get the idea that, okay, there's someone you're dating and you're seeing them multiple times a week. This has been going on for months. Okay, so are you trying to replace her? Like, are you going to keep her around and keep me around too? So the girlfriend factor, and there's a way to actually kind of suss through that. Also, who they live with has always been a very important question for me. I know in New York, it's so expensive. So people will commonly have like multiple roommates and whatever the case. I'm not really looking for someone who's still in that situation. I'm looking for someone who's like, okay, I'm at an age where I can afford my own spot. I want my own spot. I want my own privacy, etc. So that's something that for me personally was just something I always asked about. What they do for a living, the real age. People do lie on apps. People will put a fake age, make themselves younger, most of the case. On my app, maybe girls will make themselves older. I don't know. But verifying their age is also like a big thing. I've had men tell me that they put the younger age so that they would get younger women. This is when I was on like mainstream apps. They say, you know, I put my real age, and as women that age that are messaging me and actually want someone younger. So this is another way that Foxhunters Club is valuable, because now you don't have to lie about your age. I'm actually attracted to you that you're in your 40s. I'm attracted to you that you're in your 50s. You don't have to pretend like you're 42 when you're 49. Like, that's not a thing here at Foxhunters Club. But that's something I definitely ran into on the other apps.
Wow. So, okay. So I want everyone right now to know how to get in touch with you, especially you just mentioned that there's events, how to get the app, where is the app? Is it at the App Store? Is it Google Store? All your handles. Please let everyone know right now.
Yes. So the New York and New Jersey launch is April 24th. You can download the Foxhunters Club app in the App Store and Google Play. So iPhones and Androids can come together as one for the Foxhunters Club. The website is foxhuntersclub.com. All of the socials are Foxhunters Club, and that's Twitter, well, X now. X, Instagram, Facebook are all Foxhunters Club.
Wow. So where is your launch? Is it a private launch? Is it open to the public? Where is this launch at? On this Thursday, I think, right?
So Wednesday is the official like app kind of hard launch that I'm doing.
Okay.
But as far as a launch party, I haven't set a date for it yet. I am going to have it be RSVP only. I want to keep my people, make it kind of intimate and not just broadly open to the public. But I also want to let in some key folks that they can also spread the word about Foxhunters Club. So coming soon, it'll be announced on the socials and on the website as far as the launch. You know, I got to do a launch party.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like a brownie thing if I didn't do a party.
Just in time for the summer when everyone like
Exactly.
is ready to just be out there again and like running the streets and stuff like that. So, okay. So right now, if I went to Apple, it's not there. So, but it will be there.
It's there now. It's live in the App Store. It's live in Google Play. I just haven't been encouraging folks and pushing them to sign up. But hard launch is the 24th, Wednesday, tomorrow.
Wow. Oh my God. I am so proud of you, sis. Like, so proud. You are a Black woman with your own app.
Yep.
You could do anything you put your mind to it. And of course, with the help of the Lord above.
Amen.
Putting that cover on you. But also, you know, I know that you were determined to get this app done and you were looking for investors. So you basically had enough investment to do this app. So is this private right now? And as it gets more popular, one day that you will make this into a public company?
So I actually don't have any investors. I actually bootstrapped this myself 100%.
So you self-invest, because most of us have to self-invest.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is all me. In the future, we will see. I wouldn't rule out going public. I wouldn't rule out being acquired. So we'll just see how things go. It's a lot right now. It's a lot. It's a little overwhelming, but very, very exciting.
You know why it's overwhelming? Because I know you're like pinching yourself and you're like, wow, I'm here.
I'm really doing it.
I'm here. Like, this is no more talk no more. I'm actually here.
It's a lot.
So happy for you, sis.
Thank you.
So happy for you, sis. And please, everyone who is single, come on the app. Come join the app. Get out there. Be intentional about dating. I know there's so many different apps, but especially for women who are looking for older men, because most of them are where you want them to be, because, you know, women mature a little bit faster than men. So you kind of have to look older, because the ones that are exactly our age most times don't have the maturity or where you want to be, you know, so you kind of got to like look older. Please, right now, tomorrow, this weekend, download the Foxhunters Club and start getting a groove on in the hopes of you meeting the man. I don't want to say your dreams, because sometimes it's like fairy tale-ish, but the man that most compliments you.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. The man that most compliments, because I think that's like maturity versus like, oh, the man of my dreams, because we know like we're never gonna find that perfect man, but my hope is to find that man that compliments me. My person, your person, because you found your person. So I'm happy you found your person. Amen. So they're out there, guys. You just have to be intentional. So please join the Fox Club app. I want to say, Brownie Marie, thank you for joining. I'm proud of you, sis. I want to give you your flowers. I mean, I know this for sure. Like, if anybody comes to me like Oprah, I'm like, yo, she talked about this from the beginning when it was nothing. It was in her mind. She put it into paper. And she even, like you said, I don't want to do an interview now. I want to do an interview when I launch my app.
Yep.
So for everyone out there, you can make your dreams come true, but you have to be intentional about it. So thank you so much, Brownie Marie, for coming on my show. And everyone, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.